Dude, I can hear all the way down there.
And that's the house in front. All right, today we have a G87 in the shop. This is our first one. We're going to be doing a KW Haas kit. It's already late in the day, so Gage and I both here to tag team this one, knock it out real quick, and get it over to the line. Height-wise, we're going to put it about half the distance is all he wants of what's currently there.
He was supposed to say 2 M2s, not 2 G87s. That does not roll off the tongue as well.
So this is their Haas kit, which is height adjustable spring. Like a coilover, but it will still use the stock shock, so you retain your factory dampening and all of that. None of that has to be coated out or anything like that, like you would with the traditional coilovers. This little guy sets on the strut. Get to work, Gage. Inserts the 1 hour later. All right, so we have the rear apart and ready to start gathering our parts out of here. But if it's your first time doing a Haas kit, pay attention. Rear, front. Very important, or you'll have to take it back apart. And because of the bump stop, that's the only reason that you have to take the shock out of the back. Otherwise, it would just be pull the spring through and the spring up and you'd be done. So shocks are done. They can go back in. We'll put the new pads on the springs and the adjustment portion. That's essential. I don't know what my friend over here is doing.
Making sure she's all the way in there.
You're fine.
Moving on to the front.
All you're going to do underneath, 16 for the inlet, 16 for the bolt to hold the strut in, and under the sensor that goes right here.
Show them my 18.
They do.
Do we have to take all this out? Nope. Just enough to get that little plug-in out. I just fished it underneath the brace.
So I'll put this back together. Pull her out.
After you get the old bottom head off, you'll pull the measurement from here down 50 millimeters, which is this line I already have marked. And then I have my centering points. We'll take it over to the press and press that new piece on.
Here's clear football. Okay, we had it. So if you're wondering how this goes back in, there's a little notch right here. That lines up with your hole. It's kind of hard to mess it up. They're going the wrong way.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, we're going back in. We have officially finished the true suspension part of the job and sit on the ground. Yeah, should look.
It's going to look tall because the springs have to settle.
Yeah, so don't get so carried away with how she looks immediately.
She said, what are you doing?
Very strange minimal. It's hard to tell. Okay, so fender to the edge of wheel is 4.5 inches before it's settled. 5 inches. So we've dropped a 1/2 inch before we even settled.
It's already settled a ton since we even pulled up our alignment. It looks so much better. This car has a 10 millimeter spacer on the back, I think, and a 15 in the front, something like that. Looks really, really good compared to how it did stock.
We're going to be doing a Valvetronic Designs mid-pipe only this time. So this is an equal length setup, but he wants to keep the stock muffler. So we'll throw this on. Everything else stock will remain the same, such as valves, etc., etc. So it's a matter of picking the car up, pulling the front section loose, making our cuts at the back on this Y, going to clamp on, we'll be done.
Sounds pretty easy.
Should be. Not too bad. So it's pretty straightforward process. They send their own brace to replace this to compensate for the larger diameter pipe. Our cut line will be most likely in the middle of these 3 dimples that are on the stock exhaust. And other than that, it's factory bolts.
Certified tech.
Yep.
Was clearly well, I should say, was covered because it's still real. Yes, they have all we do resort to your opinion, but we got to the motor and yes,
At that point, we're officially done. Now we have front mount intakes.
Sweet. Which are MAD intakes.
Gotta, tear the bumper apart and nothing like stressing over a brand new car. But we'll get it. So yeah, front bumpers gotta come off, stock intakes, take them out, throw them away, and do whatever. And then we're gonna put some mad performance ones in and make some noise and hit the turbo spool.
Sweet. I guess before we do that, should we give a stock comparison?
Sure, might as well.
All right, stock exhaust, stock intakes. Go for it. Not much whistle going on there.
Not at all.
Carbon buckets.
I'm a big fan of that.
You gonna put those in then 5?
No. You know how much these things cost?
Probably way too much.
They're like 8 to 10 grand on eBay.
Oh, are those carbon? Oh, that's just
Yes.
fortune somebody spent on some crossbars.
For starters, pulling the trim off, just little push pin clips, and we'll pull all these T30 bolts for the top down of the bunker. But get it loose, and I'll pick the car up, pull the wheels, and start pulling like fender liner bolts and the trim around there. And then it should have a bottom set of bolts for the undershield. Essentially, it comes off. A couple of plug-ins comes off. We'll throw it on a fender stand so it doesn't get scratched. Start tearing stuff off for intakes.
Man, it's like shit. Trees and new.
Oh, spurs for 1 kilowatt.
So bad for them.
I'm going to start pulling what I can on the top side. Remove all the stock. Nobody likes stock around here. I will take a straight line across here and I'll cut the top section out. That way we have more room and it leaves this bottom factory retaining tab to put it back in place. And so I'll just cut across the sides and across the middle and leave it be. Bow rings in both pieces. Make sure you have those. Throughout the week, get ready to start piecing this thing together. We may move that as we go, but that's the initial piece. Intakes are officially on. They're adjusted. We like the positioning on those. So next step, I'll grab a second set of hands, get this bumper, and get it hung back on the car.
I cannot wait to see what these things sound like.
Intakes are in, bumpers on, wheels are on, fender liners are in. Everything's torqued to spec. Ready to fire it up and see if we can hear the intakes.
Sweet. All right, stock exhaust, stock intakes. Go for it. There it is. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's way wild. With next step, get some driving footage of it and see if we can hear it in the cabin.
All right, let's do it. If you haven't noticed already, this does have a Valvetronic mid-pipe on it now.
So we're going to keep that shut off for now and just see if we can hear these things. Car's just really, really quiet on the inside.
To me, it sounds like from outside.
Not familiar with Oklahoma. Our roads are not the greatest. Absolutely terrible. So we have to pick and choose where we go.
We're my streets so I actually will, but
Oh yeah. Dude, I can hear him all the way down there. That's the key. You got to be on the outside.
Yep.
Why was your hazards on?
Like when I stop fart, automatically come on.
When you stop the car?
Stop fart.
Could you hear the intakes? Yeah, I could hear the intakes. Just now? Yeah. Well, no, yeah. Can hear it. It's like a blow off or just something. Made some noise. I don't know what it was.
It's quiet in the cab. I can't hear nothing.
It sounded good when you left. It sounded good.
Today we have a G87 M2. We're going to be mounting an Alpha N carbon fiber wing that's been painted to match. First steps, we'll mock a wing up, get ready to drill some holes, and which is going to be the most pressure point. Then we'll go from there. This car has been stealth PPF wrapped, so after we get our holes marked and drilled, we'll run this over, have it wrapped real quick, and then bolt the thing back up and get it finished. Yeah, just to get a rough idea. I think it's cool. I think it matches the body style of the car. I like that this is color matched instead of full carbon on both pieces. Pull it roughly in Aero. Are you gonna fix it? Where are you going? I need help. What's gonna jack me up? See how they're at two different angles? So this one's flat, super easy. That one is slightly at an angle, so it's gonna be a little interesting. Another make sure it looks good. All right, we've got our holes drilled. I put a little bit of tape on this thing, but we're also going to bolt it down into its home.
this painstaking thing is done. Overall, looks great. Super happy with the product. Alpha and Wing. Let us know what you guys think. Do you like the fitment? Love it? Hate it? We're going to be doing a VR Tune race box, similar to like JB4s and things of that nature, if you're familiar with those, but we're not a fan of JB4s in this shop. So a customer brought us a different box for that he chose, and he brought us a set of Arm Motorsports high-flow resonated downpipes. So we're going to throw them on as well.
So this setup should give about 90 to 100 horsepower is what I read.
That's what the butt kind of says. So first and foremost, I'll just move the box out of the way. We'll do the tuning side of it later. I'm going to start by pulling the braces off, pulling the engine cover loose so that I can get the O2 sensor electrical connections disconnected and just kind of hanging down there. And then we'll pick the car up, start the physical removal. O2 connections here and here, and they're kind of clipped along little clips alongside the valve cover and things of that nature. So I'll get them loose first, drop them down the backside, and then continue on. We're going to pull all the shields. If you haven't been underneath the G80, G82, G87, they're all the same. You have to pull all of these and this plate and the front ones to get access to the V-bands for the downpipes to get them off. Pull the bracket off the block first since that heat shield was in the way. Then unclipped it, pull the wire out. Not too bad, just a little finesse. This bolt that we'll have to remove, I can get to that with a wrench. And the other one,
It's basically above it and slightly further back.
was this? No, but above there.
It took like 20 seconds.
Yeah, but
They're done.
she's almost there. As mentioned, he brought us this tuning box from VR Tune, so we're going to get ready to install that. It comes with its own clips and zip ties that are supplied so that you have various different orientation mounts. On this car, I'm going to mount it right inside this area. There's a bar right there that it will clip perfectly around. And then harness-wise, fairly easy. You have one that's going to go to the charge pipe, which is just straight below. Camera's not going to see that. You have one that goes to the manifold. And you have one that plugs in right here by this mount here. Pretty much installed. Just gotta tuck the wires, plug the pipe back in, and we're done.
Sad and just wants to go.
How does it sound in there?
It's loud.
Loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out here, it's definitely loud.
I figured it was.
Yeah.
I mean, these are so quiet on the cab, but
Yeah.
with the, that's fine. But with it open, the burbles and stuff are crazy.
Super crazy. It's nice though that with the valves closed, it's not too bad at all. It's actually way quieter than I thought.
Feel like it.
Yeah.
But he wanted just a little bit louder, so I'd say he got it for sure.
Yeah.
Extra 100 horse out of this thing would be a good time. Steady enough power to where he won't need any more. These tires aren't going to handle it anyway. I was slipping all the way down there.